Jeu très ancien, le cricket s'est développé et s'est structuré en Angleterre au cours des XVIIe et XVIIIe siècles. Sa diffusion a eu lieu dans tout l'Empire britannique et particulièrement en Australie le siècle suivant. Opposant l'Australie à l'Angleterre en 1877, le premier test match officiel s'est déroulé au Melbourne Cricket Ground. L'Australie est aujourd'hui championne du monde en titre. Avec 1,3 million de pratiquants, le cricket est le premier sport pratiqué du pays continent. Sport tout-terrain, il suffit d'une balle, d'une batte et d'un wicket aux jeunes Australiens pour pratiquer. Le championnat national est très suivi et les jours de grands matchs, pouvant durer 5 jours d'affilée, sonnent comme un moment de convivialité et de partage. Melbourne, capitale du Victoria, n'échappe pas à la règle. Phil, 27 ans, joueur de cricket amateur et passionné, Wanderers Melbourne.
I started in 2008. Started playing because my brother's team was short. He asked me to come and play, and I played there for about 3 years. And then a friend of mine asked me to come up and play at a different club with him in Melbourne. And then I decided I'd give it a go and see what it was like, and then stayed up there. I really liked it there, so I stayed playing there. My goal in my first year in Melbourne was to open the bowling, and then I did that at the end of the year, and I've stayed as the opening bowler since that day, and I now captain the first 11 team. I play for the Melbourne Wanderers. We're in South Yarra and St Kilda. There's no paid players at our club at all. Coach, all the captains, president, everybody, nobody gets paid. And we prefer it that way because then we know that people who come to our club want to be there and want to play for our club. We don't mind what skill level anybody is. We'll take anybody in and welcome them with both arms, bring them in and have a good time. Pre-season training started, I think, late August, so that's about 5 or 6 weeks before the season started, and then we start playing first week of October up to the end of February, and then if you make finals are in March. So we have training on Thursday nights, every Thursday between about 5 and 8, let's call it 5 and 8, and then game days on Saturday from about 1 o'clock we start. So all my equipment, Gun and More, most of everything is this brand, Gun and More. My favourite cricketer played with this brand, and because of him, I basically buy all their stuff. I don't really look at price, but you can pay anywhere up to $700 or $800 for a bat. I think this one was about $500, maybe about $500. Helmets, this is only a cheap one, but good ones can cost about $200. Pads as well, and they're about $150, $180, I think. But then you can buy them for really cheap as well. The absolute gist of it is you have to score as many runs as you can in the time that you have to bat, and then the opposition team has to try and make that many runs. So each team will bowl a certain amount of overs. 1 day games are 40, 2 day games are 72 for us. And then you try and make as many runs as you can. We have the boundary of the field. If you hit it past the boundary on the ground is 4 runs. If you hit it over the boundary, you get 6. And then if you hit it and it doesn't make the boundary, you get as many as you run. So if you run back and forth once, that's 2 runs up and down. 1 is 1, and that's how you score basically. If you bat first and make a certain score, then you can get the opposition team out by either having them caught behind, bowled, LBW, that's leg before wicket. So you can get the opposition out to stop them scoring, or you can, if you bat second, you can chase their score down and make what past their score and you win. And that's the absolute gist of it, really short and down. I love cricket, I love the competitiveness of it. I love playing in a team. I love being able to rely on other people to help me win, and also I can help them win. And the best thing about working together as a team is to celebrate together at the end. After the game, like it's win, lose or draw, we all get together and we have a few beers and we have a laugh, and it's fantastic. That's the best part about our club, everyone gets along. I feel like I'm a really good bowler. I love bowling, really love bowling, and you bowl and then you have a go at the batsman, and a bit of to and fro with the batsman. It's good fun, and what they call sledging. They call it sledging in cricket. You know, so you get stuck in and tell him he's no good or whatever, and try and put him off with your words as well. And it's really good competitiveness. I love it. I get very nervous on a Saturday morning before the game. I've played cricket for 10 years, but I still get nervous. I still wake up in the morning and you might do a couple of things and then you sort of go, oh, you've got cricket this afternoon. Or you get a few butterflies and then I'll pick up my brother and we go and get some coffee, and then you start realising it's this cricket day, and we get there and then everyone sort of says g'day. But once the game starts, it all goes away. Personally, my motivation is I just hate losing. I just hate losing. I just hate the feeling of sitting down after a game and knowing that we lost and knowing that we probably should have done a couple of things differently. You always look back and go, oh, we should have done this differently, should have done that differently. But I think that's part of sport in general, just any sport. You take the good with the bad and you learn from your losses, and then you move forward and try and prevent that happening again the next week. But we did win a grand final, 2014 it was, March 2014 we won the flag. There was no feeling like it, basically. We'd worked so hard all year and we'd won a lot of games, and we won our way straight into the grand final, and my brother Ben took the last wicket of the game, and once it happened we all just sort of lost it. The feeling was almost numb. Because I was off the ground injured at the time, I didn't worry about that. I just charged onto the ground and just hugged the first bloke I could, and then we were all hugging, and then there was guys in tears, and I'll never forget it. Best feeling ever, best feeling. And that's why we keep playing, because for those moments you want those feelings back, and it's brilliant. You can't ever. It's hard to explain, really. You just can't replace that feeling. It's fantastic. So our goal for the rest of this season is definitely to at least make the finals. Like I said, winning a premierships. And if we don't make it this year, then we'll start again next year and strive to get there next year. And if it doesn't happen next year, then we'll keep going and we'll have another crack at it the year after. And hopefully, I plan to be captain for as long as I can, as long as I'm good enough to. I wouldn't say I have any dreams for cricket. I'd love to leave the club in a really good spot. If I do, or when I do give the game away, whenever that happens to be, I'd love to be a club legend, be really respected by everybody at the club. I just really would love to make our club very successful and leave it in a really good spot down the years.
I started riding bikes, I think 5 years ago. Initially I started riding because I didn't want to catch the bus anymore. So I rode bikes to get to university. And then about 3 years ago, I started to race my bike.